They sent someone into your life to shake you, to confuse you, to push you out of alignment with yourself. But instead of breaking, you stayed calm. And now, to them, that calmness doesn't make sense. It unsettles them. It even makes them question you, because the reaction they expected never came. There was a time in your life when things like this would have affected you deeply. You would have questioned yourself. You would have tried to understand, to fix, to engage, to respond. You would have cared openly, full, sometimes even to your own detriment. But you are not that version of yourself anymore. You have been through too much. You have seen too many patterns repeat themselves. You have had too many experiences where you gave your energy, your attention, your passions, only for it to be mishandled or misunderstood. And somewhere along the way, something shifted inside you. Not in a cold way, not in a way that made you heartless, but in a way that made you aware. So when this person came into your life, they thought they were dealing with the old you. They approached you with a certain mindset, a certain strategy, whether conscious or not. They assumed that if they behave a certain way, hot and cold, inconsistent, confusing, it would pull you in, that you would chase clarity, that you would react. At first, you observed. You didn't jump in blindly. You didn't attach immediately. You gave it just enough space to see what it was. And because you are natural, perceptive, it didn't take long before something felt off. Maybe it was the inconsistency, maybe it was the subtle contradictions, maybe it was the energy behind their words not matching the words themselves. Whatever it was, you picked up on it early. Now here's something important about you. You are curious. You don't just walk away immediately. You study, you observe, you analyze. You want to understand what you are dealing with. You build your conclusions based on patterns, not assumptions. So you stayed just long enough to confirm what you were sensing, not out of weakness, but out of awareness. And once you saw it clearly, something inside you clicked. You didn't react. You didn't confront dramatically. You didn't argue. You didn't try to change them. You didn't try to prove anything. You just detached. And that's what changed everything. Because people who operate in confusion, control, or inconsistency often rely on reactions. They rely on emotional engagement. They rely on you questioning yourself. They rely on your attention. So when none of that happens, they don't know what to do. Your silence becomes loud. Your calmness becomes unsettling. Your lack of reactions becomes something they can't interpret. And from their perspective, it doesn't make sense. How are they not reacting? Do they even care? Is something wrong with them? Because they are used to people responding. They are used to triggering something. They are used to having an effect. But with you, it's different. You saw what is coming and you didn't internalize it. That's the difference. You didn't take their behavior personal. You didn't turn it into self-doubt. You didn't let it disrupt your peace. You recognized this is about them, not me, and you kept moving. That kind of response confuses people who expected access to your emotions, because in their mind, their plan didn't work. The outcome they expected didn't happen. So instead of seeing your calmness as growth, they label it as something else. They call it cold. They call it strange. They call it crazy. But what it really is control, self-control, emotional discipline, awareness. And here's the truth. You didn't become unfeeling. You just become selective. You still feel, you still care, you still have depth. But you don't give that to confusion anymore. You don't invest in inconsistency. You don't respond to behavior that doesn't align with who you are. And because of that, your reactions have changed. In fact, what affects you now is different. You are not shaken by chaos anymore. You are not thrown off by manipulation or games. If anything, those things feel predictable, familiar, almost expected. What actually surprises you now is sincerity, genuine kindness, consistency. When someone shows up honestly, without hiding motives, that's what catches your attention. That's what makes you pause, because it's rare and your awareness works both ways. You can detect what's off, but you can also recognize what's real. That's why not everyone can access you anymore, because you don't operate from impulse. You operate from observation, from pattern recognition, from experience. And yes, sometimes that makes life feel repetitive. Like every time you step out and meet someone new, you're entering another test, another situation to assess, another dynamic to understand. It can feel exhausting at times, like you just want something simple, genuine, and easy. But instead, you find yourself navigating personalities, intentions, behaviors. And that's where your growth has helped you the most, because now you don't get pulled into it. You don't lose yourself trying to figure people out. You don't stay longer than necessary. You see it and you adjust accordingly. And that's why you seem unbothered. It's not that nothing affects you, it's that you have learned what deserves your energy and what doesn't. So when this person tried whatever they try, whether it was inconsistency, distance, indirect behavior, or even public attempts to get a reaction, you didn't engage. You didn't feed it. You didn't entertain it. You just continued living your life. And that's what shifted the dynamic. Because now they are the ones reacting. They are the ones confused. They are the ones trying to figure you out. And ironically, the role they expected to play is now the role they are in. But don't let that distract you, because your goal was never to win anything. Your goal was peace, clarity, stability within yourself. And you have that now in a way you didn't before. So if someone looks at you and thinks they are too calm, they don't react like normal people, they must not feel anything, let them think that, because they are interpreting your growth through their own lens. And not everyone understands what it takes to reach that level of emotional control. You didn't get here by accident. You got here through experience, through trial and error, through learning when to engage and when to step back, through realizing that not everything deserves your attention. And now you move differently. You observe more than you react. You listen more than you respond. You choose more than you chase. Say no. You are not crazy. You are just no longer easy to disturb. And that changes everything.